very, very appalling. And that is why we need a leader who have a vast experience of economic management and the likes to come and deal with those issues decisively. Yes, because now, if I may ask now, what is the reverse effect of the redesign Naira note on our economy? Obviously, I have not been able to see any reverse effect.
Yeah, but the thing is this, there are actually misreactions, concerning the Naira note. Some persons actually say that it is a total flop, like total flop. I do think it's actually a total flop, though. But then another thought, they actually say that the Naira note was not meant to be it's not supposed to be beautiful and too artistic. That's what some people say. Some people made comparison to the US dollars, and when they redesigned the dollars, and you could see that there was no much difference. But here, do you think that if they were to give us this, like what we have now, that looks like something that was done in UTC, yes, if they knew they were going to give us this, right? So why did they make a drama out of it?
Yes, that is what is getting a whole lot of Nigerian people very angry. Because if you take time and you come out with this kind of thing, it's something I describe as beautiful nonsense.
Ooh, yeah.
Honestly.
A high five for that. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's not very encouraging at all. This government must think outside the box and prefer solutions to alleviate the suffering of the Nigerian people.
When you're saying this government, which other government? The one that is coming now, AtikuLive. Yeah,
so I think
they don't have any box to think about, to think out. Okay, so
it's so very sad, honestly. It's so very sad. It's so very, very sad.
So, but before we move to the next story, that trended this week, do you think that this Naira note is going to do anything in the area of fighting corruption? And they talked about vote buying next year and all. Do you think that this particular Naira note is going to increase that? Do you think it's going to serve any purpose at all?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I've lost confidence in this administration. First, they brought in the NIN where they said they were going to use it to fight crime and criminality. And up to date, people are still kidnapping Nigerians and the likes. And we have not heard that anybody have been caught through the NIN. So, in all honesty, this administration does not have a sense of direction at all. Yes.
Mr. Dabo, I saw something yesterday. That they said as you mentioned the NIN, I just remember that. The terrorist guys, the kidnappers, they said that there was a story. I don't know if you saw it, like that any kidnapping that goes on now, that they would like to have the new notes. They don't want. When I saw that headline, I was like, what is this? Yes. So now they want the new note. They don't want old things are passed away. So they want the dyed notes. Yes. All right, so moving on, okay, to our next conversation this morning. Something that trended this week. See, Tinubu, I don't know why they call him Jagaban. I don't know if it's Jagaban for giving us back to back. That could also be another another thing. But I don't know. But every time he makes an appearance, it's always a hit. And as you know, he did one again. Before we talk about it, just watch this.
We have no blinker of electricity. They spend more than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Let me call you Oga Dabo. It's very necessary now. I know you're a very intelligent person. In your wealth of knowledge, please, what is the connection between roasted corn and electricity?
Even me, I've spoken with a vast number of people that are very, very intelligent. And up to now, they cannot even deduce it. I studied electrical engineering from school.
Oh, good.
And up to this moment, I've not been able to connect the both with what he's talking about. It's
you need to go back to school.
Yes,
because
honestly.
he knows more than you
Maybe
right now.
I need to go and still study more to know what he's actually talking about. Up to this moment, I've not been able to deduce what he's actually talking about. Honestly, roasted corn, and I don't know. Honestly.
He started up by trying to make a beautiful statement, Like I was telling someone, I said, the good thing is all of these things he's saying, yeah, he's not using a written speech from somewhere.
Yes.
You see him talking off.
Yes.
But while I applaud that, those things, I'm sorry, they don't make sense. Because electricity, money spent on electricity, all of that is valid. But don't you think that it's just time for him to hang the boat?
Yes. I think what is actually happening is that the APC government have nothing to offer. Yes. They have nothing to offer Nigerians. We've watched on interviews and on many occasions where Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, have analyzed how he's going to solve a whole lot of issues, including the issue of the power sector. And you now have a candidate who come on stage to talk about roasted corns and the likes. It's so very shameful.
Corn.
Honestly, it's so very shameful.
Remember when he said, what are they going to eat? Cassava, agbado, corn. So it seems like the APC presidential candidate has a special love. I think if they open his heart, one part of it is the heart, one part is corn. Don't you think so?
I think from what is even happening is a very good thing that Nigerians should also see what is actually happening and for them to also make the very right choices. Because from all indications, from a whole lot of engagements that the Tinubu has had for a very long time now, there are no time he speaks to the press or to the public that you will not see flaws. And that is very, very bad. And those flaws are what I describe as major kind of flaws.
What do you think could be the reason for that? Is it effect of years of?
Yes, I think one of things that we even see is that they are not is a clear indication that they are not even ready to rescue this country from what we are currently having. Because if you are actually ready to come and serve your people, you should have had a very well descriptive policy document that have outlined what you are going to take care of in the country. Now we have in a situation whereby Alhaji Atiku Abubakar now have a plan and policy framework,
yes,
in which he outlined 5 major cardinal points where he's going to take care of issues that are bedeviling the success of Nigerians. But in APC we don't have such kind of thing.
We have cassava, yam, agbado.
All the time you come on TV to tell us about cassava and agbado, he's just taking us for granted.
Do you eat corn?
Little.
It's a universal meal. All right. Well, we don't have a problem with corn. We just have a problem with who is mentioning the corn.
Yes, and the angle he's even mentioning the corn from.
That is where we have a problem.
You cannot relegate Nigerian people to nothing now.
Exactly.
Honestly.
All right, so we are going to move on to the next thing. Up until last night, this particular man was on all social media platforms. So he likes to talk. He likes to hear himself talk, and he likes to sound nice. But sometimes he just has a way of going off sometimes. Now, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Kenneth Okonkwo, who is the man from the Labour Party. Now, in this particular video, which you're about to watch, he was talking about something. He spoke about 2 things. The first is the relationship, the issue that happened between Obi and Soludo. And then he also talked about the person of the person of Tinubu. I mean, he can't talk about Atiku Abubakar because what does he have to say about Atiku Abubakar? Nothing. So he make it go a power rich. So now let's get to watch the first one, and then we'll come back.
Let me tell you, the the greatest undoing of the APC candidate is in his unguided and unsalutary method of trying to play God. Remember, we talk about the Lord of Bodleian, and he has an uncanny relationship with the king of Babylon, the city of corruption. Recall that Nebuchadnezzar said that he built the hanging gardens of Babylon, not God. And God warned him, be humble and give respect to me, and he refused. And God struck him and he became a human monkey. This is a presidential candidate who is arrogating to himself that he is God. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. That's a blasphemy in Quran and in Christianity. That was the first time he fell out with Babachiri Lawal. Babachiri Lawal said, don't play God. You are arrogant. And that was what fell out between him and Rauf Aregbe Shola Ugbeni, who said, you are playing God. And it is not supposed to be so. Remember what Rauf said when the Osun election was concluded. He was abroad. And he said, he quoted the Bible. All powers are ordained by God. And he giveth it to whoever he wishes, including the business of men. But look at Bola Tinubu claiming that he is God. Whoever votes for Bola Tinubu is not a true Christian or a true Muslim, because he has blasphemed the Quran and blasphemed the Bible. In Quran, they said, all powers belong to Allah, and Allah giveth it to whomsoever he wishes. If President Buhari supports Bola Tinubu, he is not a true Muslim, because Bola Tinubu has said he single-handedly made Buhari president, which is a blasphemy in Islam. That is what is killing them. They don't have respect for people. Babachiri Lawal told you that Tinubu is already feeling that he is the president because he is playing God. In the whole Yoruba land, he said it is his turn when it comes to Yoruba land. Who told him that? Ayo Adebanjo, the revered leader of Afenifere, was in Ibadan, the capital of the Southwest, to tell the Southwest that Peter Obi is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever you go to, in any pool you want to describe, Peter Obi is the chosen person because he's a man of character, capacity, and competence. And his candidacy is built on a foundation of equity, fairness, and justice.
All right. So now, Kenneth Okonkwo talking about Tinubu playing God, talking about the fact that, you know, it is not a hidden thing that Tinubu has consistently, openly said that it is his turn in Miloko. In fact, that was the first, in fact, they even had a song for it. Baba we know well, it is shouted Miloko. You know, yeah. I mean, that song was everywhere. I even had that song. So I listened to it when I went to sleep. So now, you are saying it is your turn. They should give it to you. You're saying you single-handedly brought in the administration that we are suffering from. You know, for I brought this person, knowing fully well that, I mean, you don't just have the single power alone to do this, yes. Except there's something that they're not telling us, yes, at the top. But then no one person has the powers and authority to do that, okay? But here's a man who is saying, I did it. And this is what Kenneth is saying. So what do you have to say about that?
I think first, even from the religious perspective, we must understand that only God gives leadership.
True.
And from all ramifications, even as a Muslim, I think I could remember vividly there's a verse in the Quran that is talking about God giving leadership.
Yes,
that it is God that gives leadership.
Yes.
Now, what I've looked at in what Tinubu is saying, I've looked at two things. One, he's challenging God, and two, he's undermining the Nigerian people. Now, from all indication, a single individual's vote cannot just make you a president.
True.
It requires that a vast majority of the Nigerian people must vote for you as a person. Now, if Tinubu now is coming to come and tell us that he made Buhari the president, he's challenging God, and he's also undermining the Nigerian people, that he doesn't need their vote.
That our vote don't count.
That our vote don't count, that he doesn't even need it.
Yes.
So it is now less for us now as the Nigerian people to give our vote to the person who have actually been asking of this vote.
No, don't say the person, to Atiku.
Now
that is asking for our vote.
Now it is now Atiku now, from all indication, who have been having engagement with Nigerians on how he planned to rescue this country, on how he planned to end poverty in this country. He was at the Arewa Consultative Forum in Kaduna, where he discussed about his plan and policy document and how he's going to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. He was there live. He spoke without flaws. Tinubu came to that same place. He talks about Holy Communion and a church rat eating a poisonous Holy Communion. This is not healthy for our nation. This is not healthy for our nation. Honestly, in a time where our country is at the bridge of the bridge of unity that have bound our country together, is being threatened than never before. And you're always making mockery of religious in the country. Such kind of thing, you are trying to incite religious violence in the country, which is very, very bad at this moment. We have the IPOB in one hand, we have the Odudua, and we have a lot of agitation going all over the country. So we don't need someone that will still come and is adding more petrol to the fire. It is so very, very bad. It is so very, very shameful when the kind of thing that Tinubu will come on live TV and he's saying, so it's so very, very bad. He was invited to LCCI in Lagos where he was supposed to come and tell Nigeria what he had. He refused to go. So Nigerians, there are a lot of things that Tinubu have turned down, a lot of invitations.
Because he doesn't want to go there and
that is because he's undermining the vote of the Nigerian people. He's indirectly telling you that I don't need your vote. So it is now best for the Nigerian people now, on the ballot, they should vote in a candidate, which is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who have over time engaged with Nigerian people. He has over time engaged with Nigerian people, profiling, telling them solutions. But what we must understand is that this is not the Atiku is not new to this game.
True.
He's chaired the National Economic Council that gave our country 6% GDP per annum. The records are there. He chaired the 22-man telecommunication reform committee in 2002 that gave life to our telecommunication sector. If you are a staff of MTN, Glo, or Airtel, or do you know how much they are paying you? They are paying you over even more than the minimum wage. You are entitled to a lot of allowance and the likes. So we need a man who has foresight, a man who is very, very vast in economic management. This is a man that after 2019 election, he went to Cambridge to still learn more. And it all shows that he is ready to take the bull by the horn and provide lasting solutions to Nigeria problem.
And you know, the beautiful thing is that after going to study, came back, launched this, Dickens had his book launched some time ago. And of course, let's not go and do book launch, let's see. If he is a runner, go and launch book. It's only con we seen in different lines.
It's so sad, honestly.
So, now the thing is this. Nigeria is in a very messy state. I'm using your word, because I want to use my own word now, it's no good sweet. It's in a very messy state. And we just need someone who can recover, even the Holy Book, it says, go, occupy, recover all. So, and I'm sure also in the Quran, you will see a place that says, recover too. So we need a person who is going to come in and, of course, recover all that the canker worm has taken is in the Holy Book. And also, that is why we have this background to show that we are also, see it now, recover Nigeria. Yeah. Together, we will recover. When we say together, he's not talking about only him and Okoa. He's talking about Nigerians.
It's a collective effort.
He can't do it alone. So we all are going to be part of it. And of course, our votes, each vote counts, in this recovery process. We do not want to come back in 4 years' time or in another 8 years' time talking about the same thing, again. We don't want. So we want to be talking about fruitful things going forward. I mean, from 2023, we want to talk about fruitful things. All right, so let us now move on. Still on Kenneth Okonkwo. He's okay now. Soludo and Obi, they had their back and forth, yes, even though it wasn't face to face. Yes. But then they met at a religious function, and there was a picture where they hugged and had a friendly. But Kenneth Okonkwo had another appearance, and he talked about the issue between Obi and Soludo. I don't know if he's trying to chase clout or something, but let's just get to hear, because he made reference, he described Soludo as a gossip. But anyway, let's get to hear this, and then we'll come back and we'll take our reaction.
Testimony of the governor of Anambra State, that
describe trying to divide, because if the two people involved have been seen hugging, so why then are you now bringing are you trying to divide your own house, or you just like to hear yourself speak?
It's so very, very bad and so very, very painful. The mode of operations of the Labour people's supporters, their mode of campaign, it's so very, very bad. And it's not very healthy for our nation at all. And even in the 21st century where we are now, where you see people campaigning in such kind of manner, it's so very, very bad. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the only presidential candidate that over time have preached about inclusivity in governance. He was the first presidential candidate who started talking about restructuring when no one in the North dare talks about restructuring, to tell you the level of love he has for this country. Now our country is disunited. Some certain religions, some certain region are feeling marginalized and the likes. And I've read over and over again that's Soludo's speech, and I describe it as trying to talk about one. He's trying to advise the Labour Party supporters of their mode of campaign, attacks and the likes on supporters. You must give them reason. You must make them to see reasons with you why your candidate remains the best candidate, who have the required experience, who have the required structure to win election. Now, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, this was the same man that have take an Igbo person as running mate for 3 consecutive times. We all are aware of what happened in 2019 when he took Peter Obi.
Yes.
We're even aware that there were parts of Igbos who were questioning him that why should he have taken Obi as his running mate. But he did all of this to give the Southeast and my fellow Igbo people a sense of belonging in the country. You understand? So that was why he took Ben Obi at first, he took Peter Obi, and now he searched through and went to Delta State to take Ifeanyi Okowa. Why is he doing all of this? So that the Southeast and the Igbos will feel this sense of belonging. Not the other way around, when you are having a candidate who is running a Muslim ticket. Is he now telling us that there are no competent and qualified people among other faiths, where we are in a multidimensional country, multi-ethnic and multi-religious country? You are running a same faith ticket.
This also brings us to our next conversation, which is the man who was talking about the effect, of the Muslim ticket, and how it has not, which of course is not going to favor the Christians. But before we take the video of the ticket of the man who's talking about the Muslim ticket not favoring the Christians, we're going to watch that video. I know we didn't have the time to see that video. We're going to watch the video of Kenneth Okonkwo talking about Soludo, and the words he used in describing Soludo were not just so beautiful. So let's get to see it.
Testimony of the governor of Anambra State, that, and he has said it in the article that he released, that in some way that Peter Obi is helping Bola Tinubu to win the election.
He said he's Charlie Wambafo. So Bikono, rap Wambafo, Obala Sele, Jebena Afia.
English is that.
You know what? Wambafo is those local gossips. That's why you hear Mbeke, Mbafo, local gossips. So he said he is Mbafo, meaning the son of a local gossip. So allow him to continue his gossip in our market.
As a governor of the state.
That is because he reduced himself to scavenging on the excreta of the social media.
Doesn't he have the right to express his opinion?
His opinion
about the state of the race.
His opinion
you
must
can
be
as well say that your candidate will win against the other candidate. That's you have a right and the freedom to express your opinion.
That is not even the problem. The problem, when you were questioning him, was he said investment meant nothing. We were not talking about, that was what generated the issue.
What if that is the case?
No, it is not the case, because in his own letter, in paragraph 14, 15, 16, he was eulogizing his own investment. How can your own income? He's a man in search of character, in lack of character, and in lack of wisdom. By professor, or his name or her name is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
We, the Christians in the North, failed. We have been maltreated. We have been insulted. Our religion has been denigrated. As a people, we have been told we have no capacity. And so we feel insulted. We feel our religion has been insulted. And so anybody that has the tendency to do that, we have no business supporting him to be the president of the country, where the whole paraphernalia of government will be at his beck and call, which he can use to further humiliate us, oppress us, and maltreat us. So the issue is very existential. Do we want to survive, exist as a people?
Do you think that Christians are marginalized and oppressed at the moment?
Oh, my friend.
Okay, so you got to see that the man talking about the the Muslim ticket, how it's going to be detrimental, because already now it's almost like Christians are feeling left out. They're feeling like they don't have a place in the country. And of course, in some parts of Nigeria, it's almost like they don't even exist. No, their rights are not being respected. And now looking at Tinubu going to get a Muslim ticket, flying a Muslim ticket without even paying attention to the body language of the people around him, then it just means that he's not ready to be that. So what is Atiku Abubakar offering us in terms of this, uniting all faith together, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a religious worship, whether you worship wood or you worship sun, whichever thing. What is his, because it's good for us to know, for Nigerians to also know what his views are when it comes to the religious language.
Yes. Atiku Abubakar is something that someone I've seen that he's a unifier.
Sure.
Now, if you looked at his nature and most kind of people who have worked religious fanatic, you understand? This is a man that he run a private company where he employ both Muslim and Christian. He married from other tribes. Now, how will someone now who marry, for instance, now if I marry from an Igbo person now, how will I have that kind of mind to go and hurt Igbo people?
No, I haven't.
Your small God. You understand? So how will you be able to do that? And he didn't just marry from there. He have children who their mothers are Igbos. Next, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who is from the south part of the country, but who has an Igbo extraction. Why is he doing all of this? So that he can unify this country. Now, see, let's be very frank. The way this country is going, if we are not very, very careful, the country, I describe it as something like that is like on a time bomb that can explode any moment. And my fellow Nigerian people and the Christians, I don't think the issue of Muslim ticket that the APC are doing, it shouldn't be a problem. It would have been a problem where you are having other major political parties are doing the same thing. Now, it's left for the Christians now to look at it and see around which of the presidential candidate is more competent, which of the presidential candidate has a presidential candidate. And it's Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has picked an Igbo Christian. You are getting me? He has picked an Igbo Christian so that the issue of inclusivity will be there in his government.
All right. Okay, so PDP had Okay, so as you can see from those pictures, it was actually a huge one. And of course, the videos were everywhere, you know. Yes, yesterday, I watched those videos, you know. You see they were chanting. And of course, I mean, would you say that, would you describe what Saraki did, you know, in Kwara State as excellent?
Yes.
He
Honestly, Saraki is a primary election. He has gone back to his people in Kwara State, preaching the gospel of PDP to them, telling them why PDP is the best and only solution to our problem in this country. And what he did yesterday is something I describe as very excellent. Though the turnout in our campaign so far has been very, very exciting, but Kwara yesterday was so very wonderful, honestly. And it's a very clear indication that the Nigerian people are sending a very clear message, and particularly the people of Kwara.
The thing is for me, why I'm so happy about the turnout, you know, is because of the fact that few months ago, you know, another party, you know, they were busy having march. What do you call it? March.
Yes.
You know, 2,000 march, 500,000 march, 1 million march, and I keep saying these are sensationalism.
Yes.
You know, it's just, it looks beautiful in video, it looks beautiful in pictures, but the truth is, how many people are actually going to say, I want to come out for you under the sun and really cast my vote, which of course, with the kind of crowd we are seeing during this campaign, like, I feel like Peter Obi has fans, like Big Brother, you know, fans, not loyal voters, but fans. Yeah, no, it's a different thing.
Even if you even compare between the turnout in campaign between the Labour Party and the PDP, it's not comparable at all. Yeah. It's not comparable. This what we see in Kwara yesterday is these are passionate and diehard supporters. It's written all over them that we want to take back this country. We want Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to come and recover this country from the maladministration of the APC. It is a very clear signal that they have studied all the plan and policy documents of all the quoting figures.
Learning how to handle insecurity in 3 days. How do you want to achieve
it?
That?
And that is what Atiku that is what Atiku have been talking about, issue-based campaign.
Exactly. All right, so with that, we want to say that we've come to the end of Social Trends for this week. Yes. So what you're going to do for me is that like and follow us, share to all of your friends on all social media platforms, and let them know that they can always join the conversation and follow all of our programs anytime, any day, anywhere, even if they're in Jupiter. And of course, try not to miss Social Trends, which comes to you every Monday, Wednesday, and of course Friday. Fridays like this, I get to have my guests, but not at Mr. Damu again. I get to have my guests, and we'll talk about all of the things trending on social media. My name is Cynthia. I will come back on Monday from me to you. I love you. Mwah.